Welcome to Outrage Science Bites. I'm your host, David Beckmeyer, and this week we're diving into technology and outrage. Today's episode focuses on the role of tech giants in polarization, a topic that hits at the core of how these companies have come to dominate not just our screens, but our lives. We'll explore how these tech behemoths, often effectively unchecked monopolies, wield immense power, shaping the narratives that fuel outrage. We have two experts lined up, each offering a unique perspective on how figures like Mark Zuckerberg and Elon Musk are leading us down paths that have profound implications for democracy, personal responsibility, and the future of humanity itself. Let's begin with a discussion on personal responsibility, what it means with respect to the leaders of these tech giants. These individuals talk about responsibility as if it's a corporate buzzword, but when we look for the consequence of their decisions, the actions they take to fix the damage done, we usually get little to nothing.
And then we have these overlords like Mark Zuckerberg, or in this case now Elon Musk, who are, they're monarchs. They can't be fired, they can't be chastised, they can't be. I thought it was hilarious when there was a couple of months ago when Mark Zuckerberg said that he takes full responsibility for something. I don't remember what he was taking full responsibility, whatever that meant. And I thought, what does it mean for Mark Zuckerberg to take full responsibility? Like, he doesn't get a pay cut, he doesn't get fired, he doesn't get demoted, he doesn't get somebody who now has to oversee it. Like, there's literally nothing that happens, right? So I would be really curious if I was in a room with him, just to ask him, just in a good faith personal question, Mark, what does it mean? Just what does it mean for you as a human being to take personal responsibility? When I take personal responsibility for something, I know that that's going to come at some cost, right? Whatever that is, I'm going to have to either pay people money or be, extremely, go out of my way to somehow remedy the situation or make up for it somehow. I mean, it's absurd to say I take personal responsibility and then literally nothing happens.
True responsibility should involve personal costs, real efforts to rectify wrongs. But the tech world often feels like an ecosystem where power and influence allow individuals to escape that reckoning. In fact, tech companies have such a tight grip on global communication that they essentially dictate the terms of public discourse. They set the rules, and more importantly, they choose when to break them. Now let's expand on this idea by shifting our focus to Elon Musk and the transhumanist vision of the future that he, along with other tech elites, is promoting. This next clip examines how these grand visions for humanity aren't just futuristic fantasies, but plans that could shape every facet of our lives without much input from the rest of us.
Really, an integral part of this vision is spreading into space and becoming these digital beings, living in vast computer simulations. This is genuinely the vision, And, Elon Musk's company Neuralink is sort of like a step in that direction because he's trying to merge our brains with AI. Sam Altman, the CEO of OpenAI, co-founder of OpenAI, along with Elon Musk, has said that he believes our brains will be digitized within our lifetimes. So this is the vision. This is what these people want. And there's this vision of the future that these people are inspired by. It is deeply impoverished, and I think from a philosophical perspective, it's just really problematic. And yet, this is what they are imposing on everybody. And what I would like is for there to be more of a democratic approach to deciding what our collective future on Earth and perhaps in the universe more generally will look like.
While these tech giants dream of a future where humans merge with AI and transcend our physical limitations, what's troubling is how they impose this vision on everyone else. There's little room for democratic discussion about whether this is actually the future we want. What's striking here is the lack of accountability. Torres highlights that these ideas aren't just abstract theories, they're being implemented, quietly, often without much regard for the social or moral costs. And who benefits the most from this? The very people pushing it, people who already hold enormous power and wealth, and who seem to believe they know what's best for the rest of us. Tech giants like Meta and X, formerly Twitter, through their leaders and their platforms, are steering our collective future in ways that maximize their control over the narrative. This handful of tech giants shape the landscape of public discourse, and by extension, the polarization we see all around us. Their immense power is largely unchecked, and that's one of the key factors driving the outrage we experience on a daily basis. Ultimately, this episode highlights a fundamental problem. Tech monopolies aren't just businesses. They are the gatekeepers of information, and in many ways, they shape the outrage culture we live in. Their algorithms push us toward extreme content, and their leaders present us with futures where only their voices truly matter. So what can we do? Well, one step is recognizing the power imbalance and demanding more accountability, more democracy in how these technologies shape our lives. We need to question whether we're okay with a handful of tech elites deciding our collective future. Thanks for tuning in to Outrage Science Bites. I hope this episode gave you some insight into the role of tech giants in fostering the outrage culture we're trying to understand. Stay with us as we continue to explore technology and outrage this week. If you enjoyed today's episode, you may want to check out the long-form Outrage Overload podcast. Visit outrageoverload.net for past episodes, links, and contact information.